So let's look at these. Question number one. I will tell you this. They're the same questions. They might be in a different order, though, okay? And what I mean is this. And it's been a while since we talked about this. Okay, this is a very simple question. It's also very, very simple to mess up on it. Number one, some of these is requiring no work at all. This is one you shouldn't have any work on, okay? What is 8 to the 0? That's not 8 degrees. That's 8 to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. Most popular wrong answer is what? 0. It's not. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. Now, does that mean number 1 is number 1 on the test? No. No. I might make number 1. Number 5 might be that question. Well, not even that. No. I'm going to tell you right now, number 1 on the test it may not be that. It might be number 4. Number 4 on the test might say simplify 12 to the 0. Well, it's 12 to the 0. 1. So just so you understand, don't think, well, it's just going to be different numbers. The answer's still going to be 1 on number 1. Not necessarily. So it'll be the same questions. They might be in a little bit different order, though, okay? Okay, 3 to the negative second power, okay? Well, 3 to the second power is 3 times itself, which is 9. Now be careful. Everybody thinks this. They think, well, then to the negative second is negative 9. No, it's not.
It's positive because it's negative.
Negative exponents, yeah, no version of 6, okay? Negative exponents don't make it negative. It makes it under a 1. So 3 to the second is 9, so 3 to the negative second is 1 over 9. Negative exponents put it under a 1. Let me ask you this. What's 5 to the second power? 25. So what's 5 to the negative second power? 1 over 25. It's not negative 25, it's 1 over. Let's do one more. What's 10 squared? 100. So what's 10 to the negative second? 1 over 100. Negative exponents don't make it negative. It puts it under a 1. And I want to make a note to yourself on that one. That's an easy one. It's also easy to mess up on it. Okay, number 3. Simplify 3 to the negative 4th times 3 to the 6th. This is very simple as long as you remember the rules. When you times, and it's been a while since we did this, what do you do with the exponents? When you times, you what?
You add.
You add them. So it's 3 to the what? Second. And you can leave it 3 to the second, or you could make it 9. I'd take either one. When you times, one more time, you do what? You add the exponents. As long as the bases are the same. And were they the same on this? Yep. Will they be the same on the test? Yep. There's no surprises on the test. There's no surprises. Okay? It might be 7 to the 8th times 7 to the 2nd. What's the answer going to be?
7 to the 8th.
That's a first grade problem. What first grade problem did you just do?
8 plus 2.
8 plus 2. That's literally a first grade question. 8 plus, I'm not saying you did that question.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what it is. It's 8 plus 2. Okay. And again, do you put 3 squared or 9? I don't care. I really don't. I'll take either one. Number 4. This is another very simple one. This is a third grade question. Okay, Connor just said that when you times, you add your exponents. When you have a power to a power, you times them. So what's the answer? Good. Now be careful. Some students will say 21. Is that what you said, Melania? 21?
I did.
Okay. It's not 21. It's what? He said 21. That's not what you said. What did you say? X to the 21st. Okay.
Oh.
If you put 21 down, do you know what you're doing? Yes. You going to get full credit?
No.
It's x to the 21st power. Okay? Again, on the test, it might be this. x4 to the 5th. What's the answer? What third grade question did you just do? 4 times 5. That's all you're doing. Okay? You've got to know that when you times, you add. When you have a power to a power, you times. If you're sitting there going, how does mix those up? Then you got to study a little bit more. Okay? Number 5. 15. X to the negative 4. Y to the 5th over z negative 3. Okay. Here's the long way of doing this. If you have a negative exponent on the top, you put it on the bottom. If you have a negative exponent on the bottom, you put it at the top. What do you do if you have a positive exponent?
You leave it alone.
Okay, that's the long way. You can answer these in 2-word responses. What do you do with negative exponents? You move them. What do you do with positive exponents? You leave them. Keep them.
Oh, so you flip the negative 4 and the negative 3.
Here's what I do. First thing I do is draw a fraction bar. First off, what's the exponent on 15? I don't see it.
Negative 4.
Oh, it is?
Oh, there's
It's a 1. Are you going to move that 15 to the first?
No.
Why?
It's because it's positive.
What's positive?
The exponent.
The exponent's positive. Leave it alone. You can move that x?
Yes.
Why?
Negative 4.
It's a negative.
So is it x negative 4 on bottom?
No, it's positive.
When you move it, it turns positive. You gonna move that y?
No.
Why?
It's got positive
So
exponent.
leave it where it's at. You gonna move that z?
Yeah.
Why?
Move it up.
It's
negative.
So z negative 3 on top?
No, bottom.
Z positive on top. One more time.
This is
In 2 words, what do you do with negative exponents?
flip flop.
You move them. What do you do with positive exponents?
Leave 'em.
You leave them. Okay? It's that simple. 6, rewrite without radicals. Okay? If you remember, there's a very simple way of doing this one. Oops, that's not a 7, of x to 7. Okay, the cube root of 7 to the 4th power, okay? To write this without radicals, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, there's 2 popular wrong answers. One of them is 7 to the 3/4, another one is 7 to the 4/3. One of those is right.
7 to the 4.
Okay. Why is it 7 to the 4/3? The way I explained it.
Because it's the last one.
What's the first thing I wrote here?
3.
3. So when you rewrite it, 3 is the
Three's the last thing.
3 is the last thing. Whatever's first is last. Whatever's first is last. Let's try another one like that. How about the 8th root of w to the 9th? That would be w to the what? 8/9 or 9/8?
9/8. No.
9/8 or 8/9?
8
Why 8/9?
less than
First thing I wrote's 8.
Mhm.
Last thing I wrote is 8. Let's try one more.
Yeah.
How about the 12th root of 5 to the 7th? That'd be 5 to the what? 12 over 7 or 7 over 12? How do you know that? First thing, last thing. Okay? Very simple. Very simple to mix them up. Whatever's first is last. 7. Okay, 12 to the 3/5. Now we're working backwards. I want you to write that with radicals. What's the first thing I'm going to write? Why?
It's the last.
It's the last thing I wrote. When I wrote that, 5 was the last thing I wrote, so I'm going to write the 5th root of what? 12 to the what? Done. Those are ones that shouldn't take you more than about 5 seconds. They really shouldn't. Okay? Let's try another one like that.
I'm a little slow.
How about 9 to the 4/7?
Isn't that the same as the number 6?
Totally backwards. Same thing, just backwards. We're just doing it in reverse. Just tell me what to write. What's another one saying 9 to the 4/7? 7th root of.
9, 5, yeah.
Why'd you write that first?
Because it
it's
was
in the
last.
It was last. Whatever's last is first. That's all you gotta remember. When you're rewriting, whatever's last is first and first is last. Okay? Okay, what are the real 4th roots of 16? 4th square root means what do you times by itself twice? Cube roots are what do you times by itself 3 times? What do you times by itself 4 times to get 6? If something by itself 4 times, huh?
4 times 4.
That's only 2 numbers.
Wait,
Wait a minute.
4 times 4 is 16. That's only 2 numbers.
Isn't 2 times 2
Two.
times 2?
That's only 3 numbers.
3.
If you're not sure, let's just start with numbers. Let's just count. What's 1? What's 1? What's 1
Wait, it's
times
2
1
times
times
2
1
times 2.
times 1? And don't say 4. What's 1 times 1 times 1 times 1?
One.
It's 1.
It's everything.
I want 16.
So
Is
it's
it 2?
Yeah.
What's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2?
16.
Okay. 2 is correct. But I'm going to tell you right now, you're only half right. What else could you times by itself and get positive 16?
Oh,
2 times 4.
Can you do
2 times 4 times 2?
Now, here's the deal. If you know one of them, the other one's really simple. You guys, the opposite. So what is it?
It's negative 2.
Why? Because negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. What are 4 negatives? Positive 16. So, for example, what if I said square roots? Square roots of 100. What do you times by itself to get 100?
10.
10. Because 10 times 10. What's the other one, though?
Negative.
Why? Negative 10 times negative 10 is also positive 100, okay? So you said it already, Melania. Listen up.
So,
When you know one of them, what's the other one? The opposite. The negative. Whatever, same thing. So if you just put 2, not good enough. It's 2 and negative 2. Okay, number 9. Simplify the cube root of negative 125. What do you times by itself? 3. And if you're not sure, forget the negative right now. Just forget
25,
it.
Negative 25.
Say it again.
Negative 25.
Well, what's 25 times 25 times 25?
Ah, shoot.
Way too big. Forget the negatives. Just forget the negatives. If you're not sure, start with 1. What's 1 times 1 times 1? 1. That's no good. What's 2 times 2 times 2?
5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is negative 25.
8.
It's negative 5.
So what did you say? What did you say? Well, how do you know that? Because 5 times 5 times 5. What's 5 times 5?
25, 25, 25.
Yeah. What's 5 quarters? 120. So is the answer 5? Careful.
No, negative 5.
Why?
Because it's negative 125.
And again, because negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5 is negative 125. Is it also positive 5?
No.
Because what's positive 5 times positive 5 times positive 5?
120.
And I don't want 125. I want negative 125.
Okay, I don't know what happened over quarantine, but I feel like smarter.
You're not.
No,
I
know.
was gonna say something like that, but I have no real
I
room to
put in
speak.
the-
I'm putting you on the spot. You know what? I like you, but you drove me nuts all year. Are you getting this?
Yeah.
Are you going to study?
No.
And how's that turning out for you so far this year?
I'm gonna have to study.
You
or
get
else
it when
I
I'm
won't
here,
fail.
but you don't study, and then you struggle. You better study, man. You need to study. All of you do.
I'm passing.
Okay? Well, passing ain't good enough. Come
So
on,
am I
man.
though, the D.
Okay, number 24. Number 10. 64
I'm passing with a
to
69.
the 1/3 power.
98.
Okay,
Hey,
shh,
cool.
let's keep going. 64 to the 1/3 power.
Right now, actually.
Okay, talk later. I would rewrite this if you're not sure. So how would I rewrite this? The what root of what? The cube root of 64. What's the cube root of 64? What do you times by itself 3 times to get 64? If you're not sure, just pick a number. 4? Is it right? How would I check? 4 times 4 times 4.
16 times 4 is
64. 4 times 4. Can you use a calculator on this test?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you use your phone calculator on this test? No, you can't. You can't use your computer either,
You go
okay?
ahead, try it.
So the answer is 4. Because 4 times 4 times 4, 64. 11. 32 to the 2/5 power. Again, this is the same question we just did. So what are we going to do? We'll still do what?
The exact same thing.
So what do we do?
5 to 32.
Rewrite it. The 5th root
No.
of 32
7.
to the 2nd. What is the 5th root of, what do you time? And again, if you're not sure, just start throwing numbers out there. Is it 1?
No.
No.
Because 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is what?
One.
Is 1. Is it 2? Let's check. What's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2? What's 2 times 2? 4 times 2. 8 times 2. 16 times 2.
32.
32. So it's 2, but what have we ignored so far? To the power of 2. So this is 2 squared. So what's the answer? Question? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I overthink
I want to make sure you guys understand what we just did right here. We rewrote it. The 5th root of 32. We figured it. If you don't know it, just start throwing in numbers, okay? It's going to be a number less than 10. Trust me, it'll be a number less than 10. Probably significantly, probably less than 5, okay? So we tried 2. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 32. So 2 squared, 4.
Oh.
This is the number 4.
5.
What's that?
I'm talking to myself.
Okay. Okay, this one right here, 125 to the 2/3. This is the same question we've just done 3 times in a row.
It's positive.
So, what do we do?
3.
Rewrite it.
Rewrite it. What do I write first?
3.
The cube root of,
125.
okay, Mauer, be quiet. He already answered this earlier. What's the cube root of 100? What do you times by itself? 3 times 5. Because 5 times 5 times 5. And you should be able to do it in your head. I'll show you why. 5 times 5 is 25. What's 25 times 5? What's 5 quarters?
125.
$1.25. Okay? This is the number 5. What have we ignored so far? So what's the answer? 5 squared, 25. 13 is one you should be able to look at and say immediately yes or no and why. Okay? Don't just say yes. You got to say yes because or why because. No because. Is y equals 7 times 3 to the x an exponential function?
Yes.
How come?
It's got x as the exponent.
Yes? x is the exponent. What's another word for exponent?
Power.
So what is it, exponent or power? Doesn't, do you have to say both?
No.
No. What if I give you this? Y equals 7 times x to the third. Is that exponential? Is that exponential or not?
No, because 3 is the exponent.
Right. Your exponent has to be what? X. Your exponent has to be x. 14. Is this linear or exponential? And why? Don't just say linear or don't just say exponential. You got to say why it's linear or why it's exponential. Okay?
Linear.
It's linear.
Why? I'm not saying you're right or wrong.
Steadily.
Huh?
It's going up at same rate. Same
Of
rate.
what?
3.
3. As x goes up by what?
1.
Y goes up by what?
3.
How often?
Every.
Every time, okay? It's linear because x and y change the same every time. Okay? If it goes up 3, then up 3, then up 3, then up 4, then up 3, it's not linear. 15. Evaluate y equals 2 times 3 to the x.
Stop sniffling, bro.
You got to look at your paper in order to answer this. Look, if you look at the board, it's not good enough. You got to look at your paper, okay? What are we going to do on this problem?
You have to
Plug
plug in 4.
in 4 for what? How come?
So that's what it says.
It says on your paper, plug in 4 for x. So plug in 4. Do we times first or do powers first?
Powers.
3 to the 4th. Does that mean 3 times 4?
No, it's 3 times 3.
3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Can you use a calculator?
No.
On the test, can you use a calculator?
27.
Yes, you can. You can just get, it's 81. So 2 times 81, you can use a calculator.
162. You're wrong.
But you can't use a phone calculator. 16.
Oh, I didn't do the-
Okay, give a rough graph. Remember, exponential
Teachers,
function.
please excuse this interruption at this time. The golf players need to be dismissed.
Bro.
Mirrors ain't even here. All right, shh. Last one's here, okay?
I thought that was a joke. I didn't
Shh.
think that-
Come on, we'll be done here in 30 seconds. Be quiet. Okay, this is exponential. If you remember, exponential functions look like either this or they look like that, okay? Now, when you're doing this, I just want to make sure you understand. Well, first off, is number 16, is it exponential growth or is it decay?
DK, it's got negative.
That's a times, that's not a negative sign.
Oh.
That says it's 0.3, let me write down. Y equals 0.3 times 2 to the x.
I didn't even know that was a point.
It looks like
Because
it's
2 is
negative.
bigger than 1.
So growth or decay?
It's growth.
It's growth because, now be careful here. Some students say, well, 0.3 is smaller than 1. It is, but you look at the wrong number. You got to look at the number,
With exponent.
the exponent. Since 2 is bigger than 1, it's growth. So is it going to be going up or is it going to be going down? I just want a rough graph. It's going to go sort of like this. A rough graph. You guys tell me though, okay? Is this acceptable?
No.
What's wrong with that?
If it's crossing.
It crosses it can't cross the x-axis. How about this? Is this okay?
No.
Hang on. Is that okay?
Yes. Wait, no, because it's curving back.
It doesn't curve back up. It shouldn't curve back up. How about this? Is this okay?
No.
No.
No. It's got to have a curve to it, okay?
It's a 90-degree angle.
This is not art class. Yeah, it ain't 90-degree angle, okay? It's got to curve up.
I can't tell which one's right.
17, last one.
It's
Is it growth or decay?
okay.
Why?
Because
Point 4 is
the
less
one
than
with
1.
exponent is smaller than 1.
Okay, so is it going to swoop up or swoop down?
Down.
Down.
That's all I want, just something like that. Nothing fancy.
Wow, that was
Okay.
easy.
I don't see.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll study the second part. Then you have Wednesday to study for both parts on Thursday and Friday's
This is
test.
usually just one test. Why are we